different types, and we're keen to expand if we can. Musiko Musika is an organization which is about social integration and development of literacy, confidence, and so on through use of music. And we were paired with them by CAST in the funding round in January. So that's our involvement with CAST or Catalyst since then. Next, please, David. So this was aspects of the brief, and in the red ones there is really the audience that they wanted to have a product for, which is preschool children who did not have good access to resources or good support at home for learning and development. And the use cases are in blue. So they wanted to have a platform which would give better access to children and families to the content which Musiko Musika has. They had a YouTube channel, but it wasn't really working. And parents, and they've done some feedback with the parents, and the parents have said they would like to have an app. So if we can next, please. And then our business is built around this idea here. If there's an organization on the left and there are people on the right, they try and communicate with them today in different ways, but often things get lost along the way, too many channels or whatever. And so if you go next, please, David. Our solution is to offer an app instead. So we have a customized app template, which you can see here. Left to right, a couple on the left there for NHS departments, one for patients and one for staff members. There's a school one, a club one, and a local authority one. And next. So the idea is that an app is a more direct way to communicate with the people. Essentially, it's all about also on their phone. They can use push notifications to alert people to new stuff that's going on in the organization. And it's helpful for some of their agendas like digital transformation and GDPR as well, very often. Next, please. This is different versions of the app so far. So the day after we got the nod about being selected in the CAST process, we created the app on the left there, but it was based on the website of the partner and our understanding of the project. Then we met up with them, talked through it and so on, and created the one in the middle, which was with appropriate branding and some other features around it. And the current version is the one shown on the right there with more features built out and more content and so on that's been added to it by Musiko Musika. Next, please. And I think, is it possible to play a short video I sent earlier, which is a quick run through the app? Thanks.
Yeah, I'll play it now. Yeah, let's just check sound.
This is a quick look at the Sing Songa app by Musiko Musika. It's for children and their families to sing along to Songo's library of songs. The layout is all very simply done and presented in order to suit the audience, where English is often a second language. So the idea is to start them off. Here are some of their videos. They click the video, they play the video, sing along. And then other videos are arranged in different manners on different sections of the app. Here's with the lyrics. Choose a song here as their library of songs. So you want to sing I've Lost My Dog, here's I've Lost My Dog, and so on. The library's presented there. Songbook is special suggestions type idea, I think. Magic Box is a mystery song. You choose that and it'll start to play. World of Music, slightly different concept again. This is more about learning development, and they're going to build this out and extend the number of videos and the assets in here as well. There are other sorts of sections you can do, or other sorts of uses of the app. So you can do notifications on the app, or they do notifications on the app to prompt people to use it, suggest new ideas and so on. They have news would be their Twitter and social media and so on fed into here. Events, as and when they can start doing physical events again, then they're going to be able to post them on here so people can see what's going to happen in the future and what's going on. Feedback section, contact details, those are behind a registration screen, so there's not public information, but they're on here as well.
Thanks, I think that's it. So, yeah, perfect, thank you. So just 3 slides on how the process works with them. So what the client gets, or what the Musiko Musika had, is a web CMS console on the left, content management system, which controls the app. And their users of the app, they download it as a free download from the Apple or Android app stores. Next, please. One of the things which they struggled with initially, but have got to grips with really well, is the concept of what's the different sort of information that should be on an app compared to on a website, which is probably the nearest thing. And the short answer, in our view, is that the website's the best vehicle for the outside world. So website's great at telling people who you are, what you do, why you're great, how to get in touch, and so on. If the person then joins your organization or becomes affiliated or supports it in some meaningful way, to the extent where they're willing to download an app on their phone, then at that point, the information they need is entirely different. It's all about what's going on, how do I get access to it, how can I volunteer, how can I make use of the service, what are the policies, procedures, training programs, all that sort of stuff, which is contained on or better contained on an app instead. Next, please. The Agile technology, I'll say a few words about this later on. This is our interpretation of it from the client's point of view of what it means for a client. Essentially, it means they need to go faster, or best practice is to go a lot faster with an app than they would go with most other things which they develop. And if they buy into that, then they get to a better app much more quickly and much more successfully. Next, please. So in January to April, that was the period of the CAST funding. The first version of the app was a minimum viable product type version. Musiko Musika gave that to two of their nurseries, the audience, and two of their nurseries and some other people for some early feedback. They got the feedback from them. They rejigged the content to make it better aligned with what people were asking for, and we improved the app visuals to make it also better for what they were feeding back on. In the future, we've signed an agreement with them to carry on providing the app in the future, and we've applied with them jointly for momentum funding, which would for some features which would make the app more engaging. And the long-term direction of travel with it is to increase personalization, bring in some e-learning techniques and some analytics to add data to the data analytics to the anecdotal feedback which they can get at the moment. Next, please. I think it's sort of fairly simple in essence, but quite difficult to do in practice. So how to get a good partnership, and this one did work very well. The people Musiko Musika team were fantastic. So it's basically about agreeing who's responsible for what and doing it on time, checking in and being open when doing so about what's going wrong as well as what's going well. This Agile framework can be very uncomfortable for clients in our experience because they're essentially launching stuff or making stuff public before it's fully ready. That actually is the best way to do it. Musiko Musika were fine with that and bought into that, so it's gone quickly and pretty well so far. Next, please. Okay, I think this is my last one. So this is in general when we're talking to charities or other clients about apps, then it's normally a surprise to them how an app is surprisingly time intensive to get going, surprisingly easy to administrate and use, and surprisingly affordable. So our process is shown here. We have a free trial process, and it's all about based on delivering the app to the client, getting it all configured and so on the way they want it by day 30, with a fairly minimal amount of time on their part, and fully costed by that point, and then they can decide whether to go ahead with it or not. And if any of you, and we have a white label model, we have partnership models, all sorts of different models, as well as selling directly to clients. So if any of you have got clients who you think might be interested in what an app could do and stuff, then please get in touch and we can discuss appropriate solutions. Thanks very much.
Brilliant, thanks, James. So I think